Hello?
Hello.
Is this thing on? So the timer broke, so that was a bit hard to keep up with the intro there. But hi, we're here. We're back.
Again.
Hi.
We're back again. Or is there like a song like that or something?
Guess who's back? Back again.
Oh God,
Digi's back. I'm starting a rap career.
You didn't go anywhere. Neither did I.
Good.
I mean, that's that's my new goal. I'm starting a new career as a rap artist.
Oh,
Well, I mean, you did say you got a new job, so.
Well, Matoro,
Yeah,
what's the date? What's the date today?
Well, it is the day where we're going to get some actual science out of you, isn't it?
That was a lie.
Yeah, yeah, it was. But hey, hello everyone, and welcome back. It is Saturday, April 1st, 2023, and this is not a joke because this is episode 5 of Boosters and Space Tape relaunched. Welcome back. With me are my friends and fellow hosts, Mr. Akinesis Gaming.
Hello, I'm here this time.
This way, yes, that way. The one, the only, the Thunder from Down Under, Digital Psychosis.
Hi.
And our sanity and our glue, the Red Panda.
hello.
And I am Matoro, and we are back. And it is hello. I almost knocked some stuff off my desk. My bad. But yeah, at long last, we're all back together, and it feels good. I don't know about you guys, but I'm already really enjoying this.
Yes, it's a shame you missed the conversation that we were having while you were waiting for the
While we
stream to
No,
load.
it's not.
Oh, oh Lord.
No, it's not.
Do I want to know?
No.
No, you
No,
don't.
no, you don't.
No.
But I'm sure.
Okay. All right.
I'm sure that Aki will take the
there'll be
audio
an edit.
recordings. Yeah, I'm sure they will. Damn it.
I'm not sure I could put it in this podcast though.
No.
PST After Dark or something.
Oh my word.
PST After Dark. I like that.
Good Lord.
It's like the after party, but call it After Dark. Anything goes.
It's the
Yeah, you
before
need
party.
like a-
That's even more terrifying.
It is the
You know,
before party.
Need like a 70s bass line or something like that to go underneath it.
We need to have big moustaches.
Yes,
Lord.
correct. Have come to clean the pool.
Well,
Nope.
good Lord.
Nope.
Well, considering I went off the rails on our introduction here, I'm going to just say the one thing we should always say, and that is welcome back to Boosters and Space Tape Relaunched, the podcast about Kerbal Space Program, real space, and other cool and sciencey stuff.
Except for me, because no.
No, you're cool,
That's
and
not
you're going to be.
science, Digi.
It's going to be sciencey today.
He is
Yeah,
going to be
yeah.
sciencey today. You better
Other
be,
cool and sciencey stuff. I'm just the cool.
baby. You're always
We've
cool.
established this.
It's a far reach.
Cool as the
but okay.
glacier.
I mean, I went to the barber, so the sides of my head is cool at the moment.
You're looking
No?
sharp,
It looks it.
like the hull of a
It's very
Fire Nation class battleship, something like that.
Hey, there you go. Thank you. That's a great reference.
Thank you.
That is a very, very good reference. I like that.
The blue bottle's a good bottle, right?
Yes.
I'm new to this
Yes.
water bottle stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
You see, stack up, it means hurry up.
Okay.
Is that better?
Stack up means shut
Well,
up.
As long as you don't just start
that's good
drinking it
too.
every time I start talking.
Yeah. No, I was just a little parched. But anyway, at long last, like I said, we're all reunited, and God, this feels good already. But Aki, I think you had something you wanted to talk about here before we move into personal progress. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. But I'm just a bit concerned now, actually, that it might bring a bit of a dampener down on the beginning of the show. But let's do it anyway. And
Look, I feel like
I make
if we're going into personal progress and everything, I think it's important.
okay. All right. Well,
Right,
it's
do
your
we-
responsibility to lift the show back up after I finish talking about this.
All right, good, cool.
Okay. Right. Well, this is just more for the listeners at home than it is for the people in the live stream. So the other day I was doing some spring cleaning on Libsyn because things have changed a lot in Libsyn. It's redone the whole thing, and I needed to get to grips with it. In doing that, the iTunes side of stuff, they've really tidied up their bit as well, and it's a lot more user friendly. And all the reviews, I noticed we've got some new reviews, which I sent you guys, and although there has been mostly positive reviews, there's been a couple of 1 star and 3 stars, but no comments, which doesn't really help us at all. But you can get from the reviews that were there that our stop-starting of the podcast has annoyed some people, understandably. So I just wanted to provide a bit of context as to why, and also explain in better detail the new format of this show. So it's my fault for the inconsistency. When it first disappeared, it's because this podcast it's because KSP 1 was mostly finished, and we thought we should move on to different things, which is how Prograde came about. And I still think I'm the only one on the planet that got some form of enjoyment from that.
It was fun.
But even some of the reviews were saying we didn't like Prograde. We're so pleased. Boosters and Space Tape is back. But also just on that, thank you to everyone that does leave reviews, because it does help us out. And
feedback is important.
When we started so we stopped Boosters and Space Tape. We actually finished it. The show was essentially closed, just left up there as we did Prograde. But then I think everyone knows that I got diagnosed with cancer, and that's what brought Prograde to a close, which was in some ways probably a blessing in disguise. But then during my recovery, I needed something to focus on, and that's when I spoke to these guys again and said, should we get the show going again? So we did, and Meta took the lead for the show as well to remove some pressure from me, but I could still appear routinely. But once we got the show going again, was that 2020, wasn't it? We worked out.
Something like that, yeah.
2020, just prior to COVID. Okay, so this is what was going on in my life. Okay, so I was going through a divorce, which wasn't going well. I lost my career because of the cancer. I moved on to another relationship, which ended extremely badly. I was trying to rebuild my relationship with my children because I hadn't seen them in so long because of Australia and UK and lots of different things going on. Obviously, all of that, well, it should be obvious that all of that they had gave me some mental trauma that led on to depression and anxiety, and I was getting a lot of counselling for that. I also had a lot of injuries. I was doing physio for that, and I was going through an international move as well. All the things that are the most stressful in anyone's life was all happening at the same time for me. And when I came back to the UK, I was literally building my life from nothing but a suitcase. That's all I had. And this was while COVID was going on. So that didn't make any of it any easier. Not that any of that was easy to begin with. And I had to take someone to court as well while I'm getting on a bit of a rant now. But has anyone had to take anyone to court?
No, but I've seen people do it, and it's bullshit.
So, yeah. I don't know whether to go into it or not, but I sold all my furniture to a family, a couple, when I was leaving Australia. They basically scammed me. They took advantage of my good nature and didn't pay me for the furniture, which was a good deal in the first place. But I came back and took them to court. The amount of paperwork you need to take someone to court is ridiculous. It was literally piles and piles of paperwork that took me days. And anyway, but I won the case. But all of that was going on. So I thought, I can't do this. I can't do the podcast. So I stepped back again.
You've only got so much mental capacity, really, haven't you?
Well, yeah. So that's why it suddenly stopped again in 2020. And I did say to these guys, carry on without me, it's fine. But they were all...
Yeah, but we weren't going to do that.
Yeah, you weren't going to do that, which was very nice. It was very lovely. But now things have changed. Although I'm more stable, my life is still busy, but in a good and different way. So I can't routinely appear on this show anymore. And Meta, it was your idea. It must have been your idea. So when I can't appear, then they'll either I just won't be here, or they'll get a guest, and it was a good opportunity
That
to
was
get
Digi's
guests.
idea.
Digi's idea. Sorry, Digi, it was your idea.
It's all right. It's fine. Like, I'm the guy that says and does all the dumb things. So, you know, occasionally I have gold.
You have a good idea.
That's why
Hence the
everyone
limit.
still listens.
A broke clock is right twice a day.
Exactly.
Exactly. Thank you. I am Clockman. I am a terrible DC Comics villain.
So Digi's idea was to bring guests in, and hence last week we got Linux Guru Gamer in, which was great.
An absolute
Meta
pleasure.
is striving, or these guys are striving to go back to a regular schedule. So the whole point I'm trying to make here is that it's my fault that the podcast stopped and started, but these guys do want to continue with a routine like we used to have. Once every 2 weeks, they'll do a recording, and whether I'm here or not, they will now do that. I just wanted to reassure the people at home that enjoy this podcast, which is wonderful. It's fantastic that people do, and even right to say so.
Yeah. Let me be completely and totally selfish here for just 1 second. 1 second? Shit.
There,
I'm
you're a
always
lot of
self-
times
I'm
up. All
totally-
right,
no,
moving on.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Anyway.
One that you can do in a second.
Like what? Look, really simply, the reason why I push these guys so hard to make sure that we do our episode every single week, or every single fortnight, I should say, is because I'm not creating anything else at the moment. And I have a very strong need to create, and I'm not creating anything at the moment. So while I'm doing this fills a need. You know, this is the dopamine that I need. So
Into the veins.
just pump it straight in, please.
And actually, as much as I complain about it, I do actually enjoy the editing.
Oh.
So even though I'm not part on the show, I'm still part of the show, and editing is actually fun. Probably evident by the sound clips that I'm starting to put in.
Oh, you have done a fantastic job.
Thank you very much. But like Digi
Brilliant.
strives for consistency, I strive for good sound quality.
I like
so-
screaming into the void. That's all it is.
But they will record every 2 weeks. I will probably be a little bit wibbly with the editing release, but it will still be 2 episodes a month that will be released. And these guys are working hard to make sure that there is a 2 weekly release and that we stick around and we won't fall off the face of the planet again.
Exactly.
Hopefully my reasons are valid enough to warrant a bit of forgiveness for the stop-start over the last... I can't remember when we even were consistent. Probably... I don't even know what year it is. 2023 now, isn't it?
2019, I think.
Back when we actually made it to like the
2019.
30s in the episodes.
Yeah.
About that, yeah.
So apologies. This is more for the listeners at home. The Twitch audience is more up together with what's been going on with me, I'm sure.
Mhm.
But for the people that listen to the edited podcast, apologies, but these guys are going to make it work now.
We got you.
And from the last 2 episodes, you clearly don't need me here and my genius and intellect and insight to keep the podcast together. In fact,
Please, we always need you.
I mean, I'm a bit of an egg when it comes to these episodes. So yeah.
Look,
So,
do you know what sucks though? Do you know what absolutely sucks? Which I realised when I was doing the edit for the Linux Guru Gamer appearance, was that they have all these great guests on, and I won't bloody be here.
yeah,
I
yeah.
won't get to-
Oops.
I won't
Sucks to
get
be you, dude.
Sucks to be me.
well,
Exactly.
to be fair,
To be
this,
fair,
one,
to
this
be
one's
fair.
gonna be away soon.
Yeah. I'll be away for a particular recording, so you can quite happily take my place.
Okay, thanks. On the days that I can't do because of my schedule.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
And Meta,
Hi.
Linux, our first ever guest.
Yes.
Have you forgotten about EJSA and Rover Dude and the Hello Pluto episode where there's like 15 of them? I had to edit.
Okay, look, it has been over half a decade since that. Cut me some slack.
Okay.
True.
Our very first
Yeah,
guest
God, how
this
long was New
episode, all right?
Horizons? What year did New Horizons arrive? Was that 2018?
15.
20,
You-
20,
you-
2015? Fuck off.
Yeah.
No, New Horizons was 15.
Look, just say it was our first guest this decade.
There you go.
That'll do.
I like
Done.
it.
Or first guest in the 5th season, which is the KSP2 season, season 5.
Yeah, welcome
Any
to
of that
season 5.
works. Anyway, start supping on that black water bottle.
No. It's first guest in Boosters and Space Tape relaunched.
Ah,
There you
that
go.
works.
You're
that
welcome.
works too.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
You can edit this whole segment out in post, Aki. Just pretend none of it was said.
Well, I think that pretty well covers what Aki wanted to talk about, at least.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Should we get on to
Alright,
personal
yes.
progress?
I think we should. And you know what? Let's kick it.
Let's
Put-
kick it.
Let's kick it. All right, put in that weird sound.
Yes.
That's just for
Mate,
you,
what have you
Aki.
been doing?
Hey, what sound file do you want?
You know the latches closing?
The Transformers.
Oh, the does anyone know where that's from? By the way, that bump.
No.
They're called bumps.
Yeah, the bumps. Yeah.
I just wonder if anyone would ever be able to work it out.
I have no idea
I'm
where
not
that's
telling
from.
you. I'm just okay, fine.
Well,
No.
you too then. But on that,
Look, if you turn around to me and say that it's Robot Wars or it's Mythbusters, they were my two guesses that I
No,
had.
neither of those. No, something completely relevant and cool. I think.
Something completely relevant and cool. Okay.
Well, then I won't know it.
well, we'll come back to this. If anybody out there has the guess, contact us on our socials or our email. Aki
What
will
are the
tell us if you
bumps?
got it right. But
Tweet at B Space Tape.
yeah, there you go. But on that note, I'll go ahead and kick off our personal progress section because I've been busy. Oh, a lot has happened in the last 2 weeks. So
Do tell.
So first off, my main gaming PC. Long story short, I tried to swap RAM in it and it died. But good thing is I was building another computer at that moment, so I have a new computer, and it is shiny, and I
Yay.
love it. And here you get to see it. Here it is. For
With
those
more
watching
memory.
at home, take a look at this beautiful beast of a computer.
It's a Raspberry
Yeah.
Pi.
Oh no, it's not. It is.
He's
It's very, very delightful, and it makes me happy.
I saw where you were going with it, Aki. Yeah.
But yeah, to condense it down to a quick one-liner, 64 gig of RAM, 12th gen i7, and a 3060 Ti. So it does good.
It's,
Wow.
You're doing well. You're doing well. That's good.
It runs
Might better
Kerbal
run
2 and
KSP2.
it runs Kerbal 2 and 40 FPS. Looking at the planet,
It's a miracle.
it is.
It's a miracle.
It's absolutely
with that game
mind-blowing.
as unoptimized as it currently is, that's a miracle.
I love that KSP2 is a benchmark now for computer
It
books.
Yeah,
really
it's the new crisis.
Yeah.
And also, also in the last 2 weeks, I started a job. I'm now working in my my father's business, so that's keeping me busy.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I
Well done,
actually
man.
got my first paycheck yesterday, and I promptly went and spent it on a 2 terabyte SSD just about 2 hours ago. So
Good man.
NVMe at that, and woohoo! I'm looking so forward to utilizing my new Steam drive.
I won't be sweating when we're recording these shows now because I know you'll have enough space on the hard drive.
This is in the new PC, not the streaming PC, which is the one I record on.
That's not the point. That's not the
Oh,
point.
it's not- you could have
not the
Sorry to kill
point.
your
lied
buzz.
to me. It made me feel better.
Yeah, look, this
Hey,
sounds
hey.
like this sounds like a you problem.
Hey, just to make
Not
you,
an us
just
problem.
make you feel better,
We'll keep
again,
talking.
here's
It's
the
fine.
old
It
boot
works.
drive. It's gonna go on the streaming PC eventually. I swear.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm going to start.
That-
a
that
podcast
old
just
boot
called Editors
drive is-
Woes. We'll just complain
that
about
new boot drive is now the podcast drive, right? And it will
Yes.
literally be just for one file.
Mm-hmm.
You call the
And then
call
he'll
for
upload it to the cloud for you to use
Yep.
and delete it off that drive so that he's got enough capacity for the next recording.
You call the hard drive Aki for me.
I'm gonna do it.
Name it. Yeah.
No, I know what I'm gonna name it. Underscore.
I'll take that.
Brilliant. Love it.
Well, speaking of underscore, what have you been up to, Aki?
Well,
You've been away for a little bit, so you've got some stuff to talk about.
I have. I do. And I'll talk about it in the relevant sections because actually it's been a lot of KSP 1
cool.
and a lot of KSP 2. By the way, Digi, thank you for buying KSP 2 for Meta because it kind of makes sense that we're doing a Kerbal Space Program 2 podcast and the lead host, doesn't have the game. It kind of makes it all a bit weird. But
see, here's the thing, right? It was a two-pronged thing, one for me, right? One, I knew he didn't necessarily have the money to purchase a game and upgrade his PC. So I wanted to make sure that he could upgrade his PC. And two is because I was curious as hell to see what hot garbage it would run as on his existing PC. I wanted to see how bad it was.
I'm curious too.
I'll talk about that.
This in the...
Yeah.
Okay.
But thank you, Digi, because it has been... It's pretty.
I want to hear the story a little later, so we'll get into that. But yeah, look, I would do it for any of you. Do it for absolutely any of you.
You're a legend, my friend.
I was thinking of doing it as well. Because you and Linux were going to do it at the same time.
Yes, we were.
When I was listening to it before they did it, I was like, I'm going to gift him KSP 2, just so I could see that while I was doing the edit.
You're logging into Steam and you're listening to it and you go,
Oh, someone beat him.
It's like winner.
But yes, I've been doing KSP 1 and KSP 2, among other things. So, and I got my son to play KSP 1 as well. When I booted it up, he got interested. So he's been learning that too. But I'll talk about that in the relevant sections because it is KSP. So I'll wait for that.
Excellent.
Oh, sorry. I missed 2 shows.
losing your edge there?
Looking at me. Oh.
You'll find his spot here
How do we do this?
Damn it,
Red, what have you been up to?
Yeah. Well, nothing, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I've been streaming every day, but I tried to run the latest update on KSP. It kept crashing, It kept crashing on me, so I revalidated all the files, and now it runs. But on my potato computer, it still doesn't run very well. So I mean, my computer is my game computer is over 8 years old now. So I need to start thinking about upgrading myself. But since that's not in the immediate future, I'm just waiting around until some optimization happens. And I've been streaming and playing other silly games. So
silly games are great though.
Yeah, there was the big one that I was playing was sorry, my brain just shut down. Farthest Frontier, which is a bit like Banished, and No Place Like Home, which is a weird mix between sort of, actually I don't really know what to call it, but think of like a 3D Stardew Valley, but everything has been swamped with trash and you're sucking up the trash in order to even go anywhere.
That sounds excellent.
Yeah, well, it was fun, but I finished it, so it took me a week or 2 to finish it on stream. So
I got to say though, as just to come back to one thing you've just said, as incomplete as it was, how bloody good was Banished? That game was fantastic.
It's. I mean, I'm playing a game that I compare to Banished, and Banished is pretty good, I think. So, I mean,
it has no story though. Like it's just basically an engine with no story.
Yeah,
right. And that's cool.
Sometimes you don't need a story.
No, totally get it. But you know, I quite enjoyed it. I wish there was a little bit more to it than what actually came out, because it was great. It was a really bloody good game.
Yeah, well, we'll see where Farthest Frontier ends up. That's the one I've been poking at recently. But I've been struggling a bit with mental issues, so you know that's something I work on. So that's been kind of rocking my boat a little bit, but I'm working on it. So that's pretty much all I got to say at the moment. I was sick last week, or 2 weeks ago now. So I was unable to take part in the podcast with Linux and all of that. So I apologize for not being here that day, but I couldn't talk. So that kind of made it difficult to do a podcast. So
Yeah, it's kind of one of the requirements.
Prerequisites, yeah.
Yeah, is to be able to talk.
Anyway, so that's all I've got for the moment. So on to Digi.
On to me.
I would
On to
like to
me.
just
All
say
right.
before that, I for one am glad to see you feeling better from that illness.
Yep. Thank you very much.
We're very, very happy to have you back.
Now,
Without
if I
a
could
doubt.
just get my brain working properly, stupid chemical imbalances.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you tried
Well-
rebooting it?
Yeah, a couple times, but it just
So
doesn't.
we turned
seem
it
to
off and back on again.
Those are called naps.
Yes.
Naps.
Mm,
Oh.
Naps.
What are
great.
those?
Naps.
I remember
Yeah.
naps.
Yeah.
Naps are great. Naps are the things that happen when my brain suddenly shuts down. I just go, sleep.
I'll have naps
Yes.
as a present these days, as a gift. You know.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think
So
that's called
how-
parenthood,
I'm not even
Aki.
joking. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's parenting.
think
Yeah,
that's
I would, if
parenthood.
someone gave me a box of naps or said, you know, we'd look after your children for 3 hours so you can have a nap,
That would be a great present.
that would be a
It would be-
fantastic present.
Freaking excellent.
I take that over a new car. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
That's
Look, as someone with 4 kids, I need a new car because I can't fit my kids into the existing cars.
Not with that
We have to
attitude.
take 2 cars everywhere. Like it's just shit. I would still take the box of naps
Yeah.
over a new car. Please.
this just
running
shows how
two
we're all
cars.
getting older. I don't.
Yeah, right? Right?
When we first started this podcast, we weren't talking about this stuff.
It's been
Well, I think I was,
87
but, you know.
years.
Well, before it's another 87 years, Digi, you want to get into
All right, all
yours?
right, all right. So, okay, look, my fortnight has been eventful to say the least.
Is this the game or the 2 weeks?
No, that's Fork Knife. You're thinking of Fork Knife.
Oh.
That's a totally different game.
Ah,
I thought
Sorry,
it was Spork Life.
Spork Life? No, isn't that Half Life? I don't know.
But they can't count to
How-
3, right?
7.
Oh, okay.
No,
Carry on.
Alex. What is the other one? Something Coast? I don't know. We'll pick multiple different names that are
lost
not
it,
related.
isn't it?
Anyway, you have good because my brain went on a tangent. Hey, thanks ADHD. This is great. So my fortnight has been quite a pain in the ass, to put it simply. Last weekend, I went through what Mater went through with his RAM. My PC blue screened and said, yeah, there's a memory management issue, which usually means that it's a RAM problem. So I'm like, oh, RAM. Okay, I've had problem with RAM before on this PC. No biggie. Reboot the PC and it goes, yeah, no, Windows hates you and you no longer have access to use the PC. So I tried to reinstall Windows and it went, oh, you can't reinstall Windows because your hard drive is stuffed. So I had to go and replace the hard drive. So I didn't get to do any gaming at all last weekend, and I am so very disappointed in that. Basically, I got to replace it on my Sunday and spend, basically 12 hours reinstalling absolutely everything of my entire life. But I lost my
Oh.
Windows drive. So while I do have like 7 hard drives in this actual PC, the one that had Windows and all of my files on my desktop and everything. And I chose not to use OneDrive because it caused all sorts of bloody headaches while I was trying to use it. So I lost pretty much my entire sound effect collection.
No.
So I'm very disappointed with that. And I'm now going to have to re-edit all of my sound effects once again. So that'll happen. But that also means that I didn't get very much time to spend on gaming at all. So when I did have the opportunity, I spent it in KSP,
yeah.
well, KSP 2, I should say, playing around with rovers, right? Trying to see what mechanics actually happen with rovers and see what works and see what doesn't. All I can really say about rovers is in KSP 2, they are experiencing similar bugs to what KSP 1 experienced at points.
Oh, fun.
Yep.
they are completely and totally unreliable. But one thing that I did notice was that on a panel, like on a metal panel, if you stick a wheel on one side of the panel and use a symmetry aligned piece on the other side of the panel, it will not place the wheel in the same orientation. It places it around, right? So it's the wrong orientation. Yeah. So it is an old bug, but it's in KSP2. So that's the thing that happens. So don't actually bother attaching wheels to panels because it's a bad idea. Try and find some other structural item to attach it to.
I remember to do it individually, yeah.
But yeah, I had a couple of nice little screenshots that I did, rolling around the KSC. But yeah, I've had an equal number of screenshots where the rover actually flipped over and was half stuck in the ground. So, there's still bugs. They need to work on rovers and wheels and how their relationship with the ground. But this is all KSP1 stuff. So, it's stuff that took a very long time for them to iron out with KSP1. So I suspect it'll probably be the same with KSP2.
Well, I know rovers were never quite the high priority in KSP1, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But there you go. That was my week, was dealing with all of that. Yeah, it was a good time. Mater, back to you, my friend.
Well, I think that's probably going to be a good segue into the next section because, hey, you're talking about Kerbal, so I guess it's time to go to the KSP Corner, hey? Aki, you want to take us away?
Yeah. Well, I've been having the bug to play KSP1 again for a while now. I'll start with KSP1.
You got the itch.
Yeah, I'll start with KSP1. So, but every time I go to build a new save or a new install, I go to the mods, normally SpaceDock, to get them, and I start downloading them, and then I very quickly get to a point where I just think, sod this, I can't be bothered. Because there's so many mods that I like to use.
Yeah.
I think a lot of gamers get it, actually. When you get really revved up to do something or play something, and you get to your computer and you sit down, you load it all up, and then you think, you know what? I don't want to do this.
This took me so long to get it already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That I just cannot be asked, yeah.
So, anyway, listening to the previous episode with Linux on there, CCAN. Yeah. I'm going to give CCAN a bit hype because I remember CCAN being... Now, I don't know what the politics are, but CCAN had a bit of a bad start, if I remember rightly. So I didn't use it. I don't know why. I just didn't use it. But ever since then, that's kind of stuck in my head.
I honestly can't remember what that was all about.
You can't. I was kind of looking at you, Digi, because I thought you might.
Yeah. I remember there was something to do with it, but it was such a long time ago. Like, we're talking well before the New Horizons stuff.
Yeah.
Well before that.
Early in KSP.
In the before times.
So, for those that aren't familiar with CCAN, CCAN is, I can't remember what it stands for, Kerbal Archive Network. But it's basically a mod manager. So you load CCAN, or you download CCAN, put it in your KSP install, open CCAN from in there, and what it does, it gives you every mod that's ever been created, or at least that has been compatible with CCAN, and then you can just pick and choose the mods, and CCAN does all the hard work for you. It's a mod manager. There's loads of them. So listening to Linux really hype it up in the last episode, I thought, you know what, I'm going to use that to install the mods on KSP1. And I did. And it installed it, and it works absolutely beautifully. And
make sure you get your dependencies too, which is important.
Yeah, CCAN will do that automatically.
Exactly.
However, I was going to save this till the end, but literally, as I've got back into it, I don't know what it is with me and life, but as soon as I start doing something, it finally changes. Something can be running smoothly for years, and then I get involved with it, and it just all goes kaput. But for some reason, a lot of the dependencies... it's the tweak scale stuff and things like that, I think. they've said that they're now not going to use CCAN to install their
For
mods.
tweak scale.
Yeah, it's tweet scale and it's a few other things. There's like a little pack of dependencies that are all wrapped up into one, and it wouldn't take much to Google it, but it's not really important. The fact is that now that I'm going to have to install some stuff manually, but you know what? I don't care right now because CCAN's done the majority of the hard work for me anyway.
Well, at least
And
we
I've
know who
started-
to blame about it being changed.
Yeah, it's all your fault, Aki.
Yeah, that's not your fault.
Yeah, I mean, you started using it, so clearly it's your fault that it's now
Yep.
working right.
Yes. Yeah, it is, because that's the way my luck works, and it does.
Damn it, Aki!
Sorry, I shall stop doing everything. But I've got back into KSP. I've gone for a career, and this is mainly because of KSP2. There's still a lot of play to do in KSP1. There's still a lot of things I want to do. So I used CCAN, and it worked. It really did work, and I'm doing a career again. And my son's been watching me, and I've managed to get my son involved with KSP1 as well. He's been playing too. So yeah, really pleased that I'm back into KSP1. As I said, doing a career. I'm doing it slow time. I'm using a lot of mods. But my aim is I've installed Planet Packs, and I'll be exploring the solar system. But I also played KSP2.
Yeah.
And, to sum it up, really, it doesn't take much to work out why I'm playing KSP1 again and not KSP2. But I mean, when I first loaded up, I downloaded KSP2, played it, opened it up, and I built a plane quickly. And it was Bob, I think, in the plane, because they're not necessarily, Jeb isn't necessarily always the pilot now. It can be any of them. So Bob was a pilot. I built a plane. He got on this plane. Off he went. I got something to say about the SAS Digi, which I'll circle back round to. And I got Bob to the runway, and I landed the plane on the runway, but it was very bouncy. The plane was very, very bouncy. Now, I don't think we should compare KSP1 to KSP2. They're essentially two different games. They just happen to be a very similar theme. I think is the way to look at it. But I landed the plane in a fashion that I would land it in KSP1, which obviously doesn't work for KSP2. So this plane bounced around and exploded. The cockpit survived, and Bob got out, and he was fine. I thought, I know what, I'll build another plane, and I'll go and rescue Bob. So I built another plane, modified it slightly to take an extra passenger so I could pick Bob up. Took off with Val, was flying it, got to the island runway, landed it, compensating somewhat for the bouncy nature that KSP2 has. As I was getting to the runway, Bob and his bits of plane that were remaining were falling swiftly to the core of Kerbin. They flew through the mesh.
Amazing.
They were a very, very fast downward fall where I could not reach them. And I
Welcome
thought,
to early access.
Yeah.
Kerbin has its own mohole. It just happens to be directly below the island.
Yes, indeed. And then I thought, well, I wonder if they've got anything in the hangars like Easter eggs. So I went to get Val out the plane, but she was obstructed and couldn't get out the plane, even though there was nothing on there. At which point I thought, you know that meme where it's almost like a little comic strip meme where there's those two guys and one's in the hospital bed and he says something stupid and the guy just sort of smiles and turns off his life support machine. Or the one that's on, where the dog just suffocates his owner with a pillow. Any of those would work.
Yeah,
It's just one of those sort of moments, and I turned the game off and never played it again. I gave it a go since the update.
The meme that I think of is Sideshow Bob with the rakes. Getting hit in the face with a rake, and then he turns 45 degrees and then gets hit in the face with another rake. Turns around, gets hit in the face with another rake. Yeah.
Yeah, is any of those work here? Any of those apply? Yeah. So I did play it again after the update as well. And it seems to work better. But I was listening in again in the last episode with Linux. You were talking about the SAS.
Yes.
Now, I sympathise with you, Digi, actually. I can kind of understand where Linux was coming from. It's
Oh, I get it. Don't get me wrong. From a science standpoint, I totally get what he was saying.
well, yeah. I mean, if you're going to build a ball cube and then complain that it's not generating any lift, then you're not going to have any sympathy from anyone, are you?
Correct. Yes.
But the thing is about SAS, it's an autopilot stability system basically, and I don't know if you know what I do, but Digi knows what I do. He knows what my trade is, and I test autopilot systems, so I have a full understanding of autopilot, and hopefully I should be able to build a pretty good plane as well. Because if I couldn't do that, then I wouldn't be very good at my trade.
You'd hope that.
And the SAS, yeah, I'll be on the news a lot. The SAS, it's there to autopilot is to take a lot of workload off of the pilot. That's what it's for. And SAS it's a stability system that should take the workload off the player. It should be exactly the same principle. So if you've got a plane that's, its control surfaces are flapping so hard it doesn't actually need any engines to get anywhere, that's not right.
Correct.
I understand what the ninjas are saying, but it's not. It's not right.
Wait,
if that was real life, I think you have a lot of upset people, including the aircrew.
is Infinigliding back?
I'd be surprised if it wasn't, just by pressing the SAS key. Is it still T? I can't even remember.
Yep,
Anyway.
still T.
Still T. Well, good.
You want to know what was hilarious? Just on the note of that, what's hilarious about rovers? They start with SAS enabled in KSP2.
What?
That's all I'll say. SAS needs work.
Oh
the
my
SAS,
God.
the SAS does need work. It's too sensitive. Okay, it is too sensitive. It does need work. So I'm not complaining about it. I had a good time. I thought it was funny. But
it is hilarious to see your plane just get torn to strips. The moment you leave the runway, the plane just flies apart.
Can you imagine
hilarious.
Life? It's are you going to America? What airline are you going with? I'm not. I'm swimming because I'm not getting on a plane. It wouldn't work, would it? So
exactly.
This isn't a complaint. I'm being a bit cynical, but it does need work. Yes, I agree with you, Digi. It does need work.
Yes. 100%.
And yeah, that's where I'm at. So I played a little bit of KSP. I will say, as we're on the subject of KSP2, that when I was on the last episode I was talking about that the roadmap, wasn't it, for 1.0?
Yes.
I realised after that roadmap is is the roadmap to 1.0. 1.0, I don't think will happen anywhere in between all of these little milestones of content.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
all of that content. At the end of that will be 1.0. So there's a lot of work. There's a lot of work to do on KSP2.
Yeah, that's why I don't think 1.0 is coming for a long time.
Oh no, definitely not.
I think we are talking years.
Yeah.
Years, people.
I will say though, I'm looking forward to this next patch with everything they're starting to tease with it.
I haven't actually looked yet. It's one thing I haven't done is looked at the next one.
Well, I pulled
I've
up
been a bit focused on KSP1, which is probably not.
I just pulled up an image here.
Can I be uber cynical and say that I personally don't really give a shit what they've got coming? For one very simple reason. It's because everything that exists already is broken as shit.
Yeah.
Right? There's things that need fixing that take far higher priority for me personally than what's coming. And while I'm excited to see what the end result of the game is going to be, I've paid 80 Australian dollars for this. Please make the game playable so that my $80 doesn't go to waste.
Well, at least you can always get that refund if you want to.
Well, yeah. It was.
I'd love to comment, but my headphone battery just died. So talk amongst yourselves.
So as I was saying before, Digi broke in there. I did just pull up an image. If you want to take a look at the stream, they teased the new atmospheric fog for the upcoming patch, whenever that'll be.
Oh, so this is like a scatterer.
Yes.
Oh, great! My frame rate will drop down to 5.
I know, it's going to be
It's
great,
probably-
right?
It's probably a bit bold, actually, considering everyone's struggling with the frame rate and whatnot. I know we'll make it more difficult for you to play.
And look, they fixed grass on Kerbin. You can touch grass on Kerbin now.
Oh,
You
2
can touch
frames per
grass.
second.
You can touch grass.
What, as in you can't? Is it? I can't remember the word. Is it a physical entity in the game?
I know, no. I think it's just like it is.
No,
in
it doesn't have
Kerbal.
collision.
Oh, hey, there he
Collision
is.
mesh.
Scatters.
Collision
It
mesh.
doesn't have a collision mesh.
Welcome back, Digi.
Yeah. Thanks. That was annoying. I'm halfway through a sentence and all of a sudden it goes beep and everything dies. It's like, great. I'll keep talking. Thanks, headphones.
Do you know what is great about KSP2? Actually, one of the first things I noticed
What?
is the Kerbals, especially when they're in an aeroplane being thrown around.
Oh,
Have you seen them move with the?
Yeah.
I'm bobbing around, which isn't very good for an audio podcast. But
No,
for the
it's-
people,
They're animated. They've got personality, and
yeah,
I think that's
they
really
react
clever.
to the. I'm doing it again.
and one
They
thing I love
react.
about the
This is where I
Kerbals.
need a stereo microphone, then you can hear me going from side to side.
One thing I love about the Kerbals is the hairstyles. It just had so much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
I am
Yeah.
very, very chuffed and impressed with the Kerbals, actually, just how animated they are. And they react to the physics, yes, as they're getting thrown around.
Yeah.
Has also anyone noticed the vapor, not the vapor trails? I think the vapor trails actually need work. I think they've gone a bit
They're
crazy with
yeah.
the vapor trails.
Oh, the wingtip things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they're cool and all, but you need
Oh,
to
they're cool.
chill.
They should be in the game, but maybe just on the most exterior part, just for a little bit of visual
Yeah, please.
tips,
Yeah.
Mhm.
rather than every jagged surface.
Yeah.
'Cause it looks like when a spaceship breaks up in a sci-fi film and comes down the atmosphere, and it's just all these trails going down. That's what kind of looks
Yeah.
like as you're flying through the air. But also the heat vapor, wibbly atmospheric stuff from the engines as well. I don't know if anyone's noticed that.
Oh, I have noticed that, and it looks cool, but not necessary. Like really not necessary for what they're
Yeah.
trying to build.
It's pretty.
I thought it was
It's
pretty.
pretty.
Yeah. I thought it was
It's pretty.
I liked it.
Mhm.
I liked it. I'm drawing some positives.
We're drawing a longbow, basically.
Yeah. So something went beep in my house. I think it was my house.
I
What was
will.
that?
I'll say this. I'm curious to see where the game's going to be.
In 12 months.
Well, yes, in 12 months. But I was thinking specifically after patch 2. Because
Do you know what?
they're going to be adding in, bug fixing a lot of things and optimizing things.
Do you know what? If this game was released as 1.0, like they originally intended, and it was completely bug free and absolutely working in every sense of the fashion, we wouldn't have much to talk about, would we? So
You're right.
Exactly.
they're
Exactly.
extending the longevity of this podcast. Interesting or not, we're going to be here talking about it.
The point I would make about anything like this is this comes from a place of fandom,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
right? We enjoy Kerbal Space Program. We enjoy Kerbal Space Program 2. We want it to be successful. And it comes from a place of passion and interest that we call this shit out.
And excited.
So
I'm excited.
we're excited. We're excited. Just don't waste my $80.
Yes, give us the Capybara space program that we all wanted, please.
Correct. Yes.
It's
The Chupacabra Space Program? What?
no. I just noticed their Twitter is literally Capybara space program right now.
Oh my God, because April Fools.
Yup.
I love it. It's great.
So, what was the issue with the flowers and grass originally? I'm just looking at chat here, City Robo. Because I flew a plane, and that's all I pretty much did from one runway to another. I didn't explore anything. I haven't even gone to space yet. What was because I'm UV maps and all sorts being messed up. What was going on?
I
It
don't know.
just- There. Poodman's got it. The flowers look like a rectangular sprite sheet.
Oh,
The
really?
whole thing was just they were ugly, like really ugly. They just needed to
right.
fix it up.
A rectangular textured.
Yeah, basically, if you were green screening someone out, what they looked like was the green halo around a person's shape. So, except
Oh my.
other issues.
And Galax RPG in the chat as well. The biggest drag on performance is multiple engines. I think I think he said squad then. I think the developers
60% or less of the GP. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice one.
I've acknowledged that the engines are. I think it's something to do with the fuel rate actually of the engines has really hindered performance, or is
Interesting,
hindering
Alex.
performance. But they've called that out. Resource flow. There you go, Ruben.
Oh, there you
Resource
go.
flow
There you go.
is the issue for a lot of the frame rate.
Anyway, there doesn't seem to be any other patch notes going on at the moment for KSP2, though, is there?
Not really. It's pretty well been quiet.
It's just what's coming,
Yeah.
really. That's all that's really been talked about. Basically, their Twitter, getting into the. Oh, actually, have you got their Twitter up at the moment, Matoro? Share that
Actually,
on screen.
I can pull it back up. Hang on. Here,
'Cause I
I'll bring
reckon-
it up. Take a look
Put
at
it on
this.
Yeah.
Capybaras, capybaras. This is great. I want this game.
It's amazing.
I want a mod to make this the game, please.
Oh, sure.
Dogs.
We wait almost half a decade for you to play My Little Pony KSP1, but now you want Capybara?
Yes. Capybara are cute.
I mean, yeah,
I
but
don't know what I'm looking at. Oh, is this an April Fool's thing?
Yes.
yes.
Right.
You know what a capybara is, right?
Yes.
Right. For those who don't, it's a rodent that's really big that gives no shits.
It's probably my favorite animal. Actually, they're like giant guinea pigs with long legs.
Oh my god, they are.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
There was a photo I saw through the week of them actually, where there's one just standing there surrounded by alligators. And it just does not care. It's just standing there, and the alligators, half of them look like they're poised to strike, and it's not trying to run away. It does not care.
I want one. It's kind of my spirit animal, I think.
Wait, there's
I mean,
concept art. Oh my
You do
god.
look a bit like a capybara,
Thanks, mate.
you know.
Bit
To
too-
be fair,
Yeah, I'm
the
bookmarking that.
joke. All right, sorry, I'm gonna derail for a moment. The joke that I made earlier while Matoro was doing the intro and everything is that we should have all gotten face rig going, and all been Red Panda when the show started.
Oh my
Would have been
god.
amazing.
That would
Because
have
it would have been great,
brilliant.
right? Now I'm rethinking that, and I'm thinking Aki needed to be a capybara. Would have been perfect. Would have been perfect. I wish I'd thought of it through the week so that I gave you guys the suggestion to do it earlier. I failed.
Hindsight is
my-
2020.
My brother calls me a wompster because he thinks I look a cross between a wombat and a hamster. So we.
I
clutched the words
mean-
together.
He's not wrong.
I used to be a lot more hairy. Mate is moving the bottle.
Yeah,
He
he's
is.
been
Bottles.
doing that for the last 15
He
minutes.
has, and I've been trying to progress it along, and then we got
Bottle's
distracted with capybaras, and it's hilarious.
He's just throwing the water all over himself and we still haven't paid attention.
You stand there with a bottle, just
He stood there in his swim shorts in a paddling pool full of this water bottle water.
I think we need a better cue. is
Yes.
I think-
it needs work.
I think what we need is Matoro to jump in and go, cool, real space news.
Cool, real space news.
Yeah, for those of you who cannot see what we're doing because you're listening to the podcast, Matoro has a water bottle that he's supposed to hold up so that we have a silent clue that we're going too long and need to move it along. However,
He's been
certain
sipping
people are
it
not
every
paying
time I speak.
attention to it.
It worked well the
Don't
last
carry on
2
talking.
weeks.
It did.
Yes, but then now I'm here, and when I
But
appear,
Aki's here.
things stop working.
Correct.
I just didn't want the podcast audience to be left in the dark on what's happening.
Oh no, it's very good to explain. 'cause
Yes,
a lot of
no, it
stuff
is.
we
So,
do-
As
we
he's
listen back to
literally
it,
holding the
wow.
bottle across his screen, dancing it back and forth across.
Wait.
Yes, yes. Do, 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 do.
Maybe it would help if it wasn't so blended into your environment. Maybe some Dayglow tape.
You need-
or-
This
That'll do.
better?
Yeah.
Something a
We
bit
need something
brighter.
bright.
Back scratcher?
You're holding a black water bottle up in front of yourself, and you're wearing a black T-shirt, so it kind of.
Hey, Aki.
Wait.
Hey,
I got
Aki.
it for you. Is that better?
Choo choo, bitches.
Yes. Yes, that is better. Can we do that, please?
All right.
The choo-choo.
Because not only
Choo-choo.
does it alert us all in a way that we cannot ignore, it's also fun.
There you
Right.
go.
Real space.
Real
Yeah, let's
space
get to
time?
real.
Real
It's real
space
space
time.
All right, let's go to real space, everybody.
We've moved on already.
We're
That's not
into
science,
real
did you?
space.
Okay, so we're done with real space now.
Thanks
Now
for
it's
listening,
Red
everyone.
Ed. Cool. Red Ed, we haven't got any Red Ed
Wait,
this
wait, wait.
week. Choo choo.
Choo-choo.
Outros.
Yeah, let's do it. Wait.
Aki can edit this whole bit out and post. It's fine.
I don't do that anymore. It all stays in.
Yeah, no,
We're
you
good
just
at
save it for
this.
sound effects.
We swear.
We
Well.
podcast.
We've done this once or twice. We promise. Whoa. We promise. But on that note, it is time for real space news. So, we've got a lot to talk about this week. Oh boy. So, first things first, for those of you that recall, I believe we talked about this 2 or 3 episodes ago, but MS-22, the Soyuz on the ISS that had the coolant leak, finally
Yes.
returned to Earth.
Oh,
And
good.
yes, it returned uncrewed, and they haven't released the findings yet, as far as I'm aware. But it is estimated that the inside of the capsule, along, keep in mind, this is a humid environment as well, reached up to possibly 122 degrees Fahrenheit, or for the rest of the world, 50 degrees Celsius.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I got
That's
you.
hot.
Yeah, it's a little toasty. And in a humid environment, no less, because, oh my God.
That's what Aki lived in when he was living in Darwin.
Sounds like a Florida summer to me, honestly.
Yeah.
It's not the heat, it's the
At night
humidity.
in the
What?
shade.
Yeah, it is. It's the humidity
is.
that'll get you.
It is though, Red. You're absolutely right. Don't get me started on it.
But with the return of MS-22, that means Expedition 68 on the space station transitioned to Expedition 69.
Nice.
I'm just going to wait for this stream of audio files now coming from Digi.
You're welcome.
You enjoyed that far more than I expected you to, Digi, and I'm so glad. Nice.
Nice.
But on the U.S. side of things, the Falcon 9 launch out of Vandenberg, which was scheduled for the 30th, I believe. It was 2 days ago at this point. Yeah, that was the 30th. Tranche zero. I'm not exactly sure how that's pronounced, but
Tranche.
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 It had an
Croissant.
yes. It had
Rocket is like a croissant with fins.
What
You wanna
accent
finish
is that?
croissant?
A croissant. I don't know. It's an amalgamation of every single accent on the face of the planet because
Okay.
I can't do accents.
You do an Australian one pretty well.
I do. I
Okay.
do.
All right.
Oi.
Anyway, yeah, so tranche, we'll just go with that. It had a last-second scrub right before liftoff due to, as of now, undisclosed reasons, but they were close enough to where the T-Tab igniter at least pumped into some of the engines, because if you watch the video back, it looks like at least half of them had the green flash.
Oh God.
Yeah. So then they stood down, and now they're, I believe I saw on SpaceX's tweet this morning that they're going to make that attempt tomorrow at the same time, which is like 7:29 a.m. Pacific, I'll
There's
maybe
a lot of
be up.
last-second aborts at the moment.
Dude, Vandenberg, it seems like it's had a lot of issues lately. Never mind the T-Tab issues that happened on Crew 6, the first attempt for Crew 6. But that's neither here nor there. Those are two separate launch sites, so it's neither here nor there, you know. And now we're getting to the very exciting stuff I wanted to talk about. Oh boy, let me tell you, this is all right, I'm going to start with this one because I'm going to go out of order to what's on our list here, because this morning, and this is not a joke, this may have, dropped on April 1st, but this is not a joke. The marine hazard warnings for the Starship orbital flight test are out. And according to Christian Davenport, the FAA license for that orbital flight test is expected sometime in the next 2 weeks. Starship could fly as early as, and this is according to Eric Berger, as early as April 10th. 9 days from now.
Why did they release that on the 1st of April, though, that news?
Okay, so technically, it came out late last night.
I'm always suspicious.
It was just the tweet came out this morning that I saw with it. I would have to dig up it's in my likes somewhere.
Sound the Sirius alarm or something, so we know it's not an April Fool. It's just three blows on the whistle.
It's serious, I promise. This is real, and it is likely going to happen this month. But it all comes down to the FAA license. So cross your fingers. I'm just gonna say this: if it's anywhere around April 15th, sorry, I'm not going to be here. You guys can handle this without me. you guys can handle this without me. I'll get Digi up to speed.
Get me up to speed, because I fell into the rabbit hole of wanting to see this Tranche 0 abort. And you don't see the green flash at all. So, sorry. Feel free to continue.
No. Go back and watch it. It's there. It's on the right, the tower side of the booster.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's it. No ignition, anything. It's just the green flash and then nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot something. I forgot to put something in Real Space News. We'll get into the big announcement after this, but this was very important in the last 2 weeks. Relativity finally launched Terran 1. For those that do not know what that is the world's first... Thank you, Aki. He raised his hand for the listeners at home.
I'm under a rock these days.
Terran 1, the world's first 3D printed rocket. 85% 3D printed. It made it through Max Q and made it all the way to stage separation. Stage 2 actually ignited for a few moments and then sputtered out. They're still under the investigation. I would
but still,
assume.
The fact that it got through Max Q is huge.
And that was their goal. They wanted to make it to Max Q and see what happened, to prove that it was possible. And they did that and so much more.
That's fantastic.
3D printing rockets is viable. And that is insanely exciting. And the imagery out of that is incredible. And it makes me so excited for not only Starship, but Vulcan as well, because the big thing about one of the big things about Terran 1 is it is methane powered. So what that means in particular, in terms of imagery, blue flames,
which would be cool as hell.
Why did I think that methane would be green?
No, that's burning copper. That's what we don't want to see out of Starship.
That's bad.
That's bad. That's rocket engines eating themselves. That's what we don't want to see.
It's undesirable.
So, Aki, I want to save my last thing there for last. So if you would like to talk about what you want to talk about.
Well, mine's going to hopefully be a bit of dialogue, actually.
Okay.
So, this is about the ISS. The ISS originally was, the current deal is that it would operate until 2024. The previous agreement was 2024. It's now been extended to 2030. The Canadian government, on the 24th of March, just gone, agreed to the extension of the ISS, which was the last partner to do so. The others being JAXA and ESA. Roscosmos has agreed to extend to 2028, pending government approval. So we'll drop that one there. And this is all part of the Lunar Gateway stuff. So that's good. ISS up until 2030. It's what happens after 2030, which is a little bit more interesting. And NASA's current plans are to deorbit the ISS at the end of 2030.
Right over Australia.
We've been through this already.
Exactly, and it worked so well last time that
Yeah, it was great. Fantastic.
Hey, we got a trip out of it.
We did. I'm not driving another 3,000 kilometers. Fuck that.
Just to see some.
God, you're getting all the NASA beeps this time.
there's a lot
You
in
are.
there.
You are.
This is
You're
probably
getting
a
them all.
record, actually. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm tired this morning. Been a long week.
Well, the deorbit zone is the South Pacific. So as long as they don't
yeah, I
miscalculate.
told you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I believe that's where Mir is too.
Yeah, the I think it's Point Nemo area, isn't it? Yeah. So to do this, NASA is from next year, I believe, will be working on a tug that they'll send up to drag the ISS down into the atmosphere, which from what I can gather is going to be like a module that they'll put on to the ISS, and it's actually a booster which will deorbit it.
Look, as long as they put
about selling it.
Well, this
Mm.
is the thing. So this is exactly it, Red. Industry says there is a missed opportunity to instead repurpose the ISS, or at least elements of it, recycling materials that could be used for other commercial applications. And, you know, like SpaceX is probably the best example. Civilian agencies can do this. They can do space.
Mm-hmm.
So if there was an argument or a concern over collision, I don't think it's a good argument, because civilian agencies can do this very well. So they're saying, industry is saying, well, why don't you sell it to us? I think there was one point even on about turning it into a hotel.
The problem is that with all of the international money that went into it, who gets
Yeah,
what?
who gets the money?
They want a share. Yeah, they want a share of it.
Yeah,
They'll all
everyone's-
say, well, you know, well, they're using our module. They're not using your module. So we should get paid for that. You know, I mean, I can already hear the international arguments.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't go into that module. Yeah. You can't go. Don't touch that. That's ours.
Or that's classified. We can't sell that.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
No,
it becomes a big political mess.
Yeah, I foresee the arguments that would take place with that. That was immediately why my brain was all over the shop on that. It was like,
But
who
then-
gets the money?
What they want to do is like recycle the materials. They could break the ISS apart into components and repurpose it. I don't know.
I get that, but the more you disassemble the ISS,
The more trash you get.
the more trash you have in space.
Mhm.
And if you think about what happened with the cupola all those years ago with the tiny fleck of paint
Paint. Yeah.
that just cracked one of the panes of glass on the cupola, like, no, like, even pulling apart tiny little bits of it. Could you imagine what one tiny little metal shaving from a bolt would be like?
Well, you've seen all the pictures, haven't you, scattered around where they've fired a small pellet at 17,000 miles per hour, because that's the orbital speeds, into a solid alley block or something. And it
Yep.
looks like something, the T-1000 from the Terminator, when he gets shot, it's just these huge craters and something that shouldn't be cratered.
Yeah, as much as I like the idea of them salvaging it or using it for some alternate purpose, I suspect it will end up being deorbited just because of the logistics and politics of it all.
It
Yeah.
would be a shame, because the space shuttle started putting this together, didn't it?
Yep.
Because there was an idea to boost the ISS into a high orbit to either preserve it, or to preserve it and use it as a heritage site, or it would be a heritage site. But apparently that's been ruled out completely already.
Well, if they're putting a tug on it, couldn't they tug it to a higher orbit?
Well,
I think it's probably a whole lot less delta V to actually deorbit it than it would be to drag it to a higher orbit.
It's true.
Well, and you don't have to worry about the exact location of it if you're deorbiting it.
Exactly.
I think I remember them saying it would take 17 separate missions to get it into a graveyard orbit.
Yeah.
I believe I read that.
Wow.
As I said, it's just
to boost up and circularize. Yeah.
It's just they're going to end up deorbiting it just because of practicality and all of that. So
Yeah.
you know, I'm not surprised, but it's a bit sad.
It is.
It is.
It is.
End of an
It
era.
seems a shame because it's a monumental achievement for quite a few nations now, isn't it? There's a lot of stuff. It's got a lot of history.
Well, my expectation is that there'll be a gap, and we might go without an international anything for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, considering the politics right now between Russia and the United States,
And China.
and China's building their
China.
own because we won't let them on ours.
And
So,
Europe and the UK and everything.
yeah,
like,
there's issues with
everything's
that now.
everything's a cluster
Can we
right
put
now.
a bit of a Martian thing here, international waters and all that? If we sent ourselves up and then, like pirates, and just claimed it, put a flag on it, boosters and space tape flag. Is anyone with me?
Let's do it.
Aki.
We-
Mars
What do you
set
think
up-
we are?
Set up a GoFundMe.
What do you think we are? Sovereign citizens? Like,
Oh,
that's-
No, no, no.
Declare it as our own country. This is ours now.
yeah. This
Oh my God.
is Akiville, or we
Space
just go
weapons
full
don't
Marvin the
scare me.
Martian. We go full Marvin the Martian. I claim this in the name of Mars.
It's Pandatopia. Didn't you know that?
No, it's just Planet Gazebo.
Ah,
Gazebo.
yeah.
I like Pandatopia better, but hey.
Pandatopia is great.
No,
I like it.
Pandatopia is the capital, obviously.
No, okay, there you go.
Which
Yeah,
module's
all
that?
That's a good question, actually.
We start going to war on the ISS between ourselves. This is my module.
So
You
speaking
cannot
of
have my resources.
The
I will
ISS
trade
Civil
you
War.
oxygen for food.
so
See,
speaking
I
of
don't even want
Mars,
to go up to the ISS because I wouldn't fit. So you guys can go, and I'll stay down here.
Not with that
Look-
attitude, Red.
Yeah, not with that attitude.
I'm 6'8". What do you want
Yeah.
me to say?
That's fine. That's fine. Like,
I'm over
It's
2 meters
weightless.
tall, guys. If you want to,
We'll get you in there. And
now,
then
you know those
never get me
long,
out.
you know those long hallways?
through the hatch. Yeah.
you know the long hallways that they've got. I can only really refer to them as hallways. In the ISS, where it's just
Hallways.
people fly through them. What do you
Corridors?
call them?
Corridors.
Corridors. There we go. We'll use that. All right, corridors. So if Aki's on one side of it,
Come down
Right,
from the
and
landing.
Red's
Digi.
on the
I want to
other.
talk to you.
Come on, Matoro,
Meet you
save
in the
us.
study.
I just foresee the Civil War and the two people with spears flying through at each other, just screaming as you slowly progress towards each other.
Dressed in animal skins.
so
Where'd you get them from? We haven't seen Red in a while, have you?
oh God. So Aki, since we were talking about Mars, you wanted to talk about something there too?
Yeah, have we got time?
Yes, just go. I still have one more thing to talk about, and I'm not skipping it.
Well, we
Skip
don't
the
have
Mars.
Red Ed this week, so we're making up for it.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Well, I'll just do a quick mention then. The Mars sample return, which is seems that's part of the Perseverance, isn't it? Mission. And to collect samples from the surface of Mars and send them back to Earth. This seems to be exploding in a huge, uncontrollable manner. So the Mars sample return became its own entity. It's its own project, separate from Perseverance and all that sort of stuff.
I suppose it
Mhm.
has
Its
to, doesn't
original
it?
budget was 5.2 billion, and it's a collaboration between NASA and ESA. So NASA are building the sample return, and ESA are building the probe, the orbital probe. and it's in a bit of trouble because the budget keeps increasing, and it's getting to the point where if it increases higher than 20% of its original $5.2 billion budget, or it exceeds 35% of NASA's total budget, which it's on track to doing, then the Mars sample return, the team will have to apply directly to the White House or Congress directly
Oh dear.
to get
more
additional
money.
funding.
Well, that won't
Otherwise,
happen.
it'll either be reducing its own scope, or it'll be cutting into other programs, space programs that NASA want to do.
We can't even pass a budget base right now. There's no way that would sneak through.
No.
I mean,
But
they're
it's,
talking about defaulting this summer, so I mean, come on.
Can I just point out what portion of the actual missions comes from fuel?
I mean,
because
money-wise?
yeah,
Oh, because of the cost of everything at the moment.
the cost of everything.
Well,
at
that's
the
certainly going to
moment,
have a factor, yeah. But the budget's
it
been
would definitely be a
increasing
factor.
since it's and I think because of that, that's why they're now worried, because budgets, it's 9 times out of 10 everything goes over budget, doesn't it? But I think it's a bit exponential at this time because of the increase in fuel prices.
Yeah, 100%.
They just
Like,
pointed
it's
it out.
it's a
But
big
it's,
factor.
About that. But
Yeah, the Mars sample returns just a little bit concerned with that at the moment. But I don't know. I don't know. But for such a simple concept seems to become so complicated,
why do you think that's simple?
because all you do is land something on Mars and take off again and bring it back to Earth. There's no.
We never
Like,
did that with the moon.
Yeah, but
Apollo did.
we had landers. We had people to do that.
We didn't do it until we sent people. Is my
Yeah,
point.
now we got
Fair.
robots.
Well, then there's a solution.
So
Send people to Mars.
the point being, the only reason we got moon rocks to bring back is because we sent people. Until we send people, it's a pretty big deal to send something all the way out there, pick up some rocks, and come all the way back. That's not a simple. I mean, you have to land successfully, which we have a hit or miss record with. Then
It's
you have
simple,
to
Red.
get the
It's
rocks.
Simple.
Then you have to launch again successfully and make it all the way back to Earth.
Yeah, it's simple. We've
not
mate,
simple.
Red, it's simple. We've done it in KSP. Like, of course, if we can do it in KSP, we can do it in real life.
My point is that's not particularly simple.
No, I know it's not simple. I'm being cynical.
We know. We're downplaying it.
Well, I think it can easily be said we don't want that cutting into other programs, especially stuff like
that's the
Artemis
thing, yeah.
or Gateway.
Yes, and the whole ISS extension is for Gateway. That's
Mhm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll end this on something amusing, not too my part. Sorry, Mater, because I know
you're
you're
good, you're good.
champing at the bit. So I had this come up the other day. I don't care if it's real or not. It just wouldn't surprise me. So apparently, one Florida parent demands NASA recall pornographic Voyager spacecraft from 14.8 billion miles away because
We'll
of the
get right
golden
on
record
that.
on the side.
What?
Right on that.
No, Florida
pornographic
never stopped being
because-
special.
Because it is a
Because of
new
the thing on the
person
side.
it.
All I gotta say about that is, well, I was aroused.
And all I've got to say about the we're calling Skylab is Skylab Voyager.
We're calling Skylab.
You know what I meant. Who we're calling Voyager is good luck with that.
Yeah.
Would have been interesting if we had included a preserved DNA sample.
Oh, that would have been.
That. But would that have been destroyed? If there was plasma outside. Well, there is
It would have
plasma
been
outside.
inert and contained and shielded.
You got me thinking, Red. Like that's an interesting concept. Like I will
that.
throw this out to the audience, right, as something that we can talk about in another podcast. I think. What would have been the right things to include in Voyager if it was sent out now?
Was it still Stephen Hawking? I think, wasn't it, that said, because one of the things on the record is pinpointing Earth or the Sol system from different pulsars, and you can navigate to Earth that way. And Stephen Hawking said, "Well, that was probably a terrible idea. do you really want aliens to know where we are?
Yeah, but no one's ever going to find
Which
it.
actually furthers the point of should we really put our DNA in there? They can come back and it'll be like Oblivion with Tom Cruise. All these Tom Cruises coming down.
Really?
Trying to take
What
over
would
the Earth.
aliens want with Earth?
Well, I'm pretty
What-
great. They might want to meet me.
Everybody wants that British
No, I
charm,
mean,
right?
There are easier ways to get water in our very solar system than going to the bottom of the gravity well of Earth to get it. So if you're coming for water, this isn't a good place. If you're coming for oxygen, there are better ways to get it in this system.
Oh, Tesla Max in chat has got a good point. Do we want the aliens to have a baseline to make a biological weapon to kill us all? Winky face.
Why would
I'll
they
hasten to add.
bother?
For fun? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, unless the aliens have a sadistic humorous streak, I don't really see the.
It's like when people go, "Oh, aliens are going to enslave us." Well, why? We're terrible company and difficult to. We're a pain in the bum to keep alive.
Yeah, I mean,
Got to feed us and water us and toilet us.
yeah, no, that makes no sense. Particularly if they're advanced enough to come all the way
Robots
here,
can
they're
do
going to
it
have
much better.
robots. I mean, what?
We get tired and fed up and grumpy and
Yeah,
complain.
like me right now, being tired and grumpy.
Mm.
No one would have believed in the last years of the 19th century that human affairs were being watched from the timeless worlds of space. No one could have dreamed that we were being scrutinized as someone with a microscope studies creatures that swarm and multiply in a drop of water. I don't need to keep going because anyone who knows what that is already knows it and has pretty much committed it to memory by now.
I feel like I should know.
The War of the Worlds.
I thought it was that.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
that was from the book, right?
Wrong.
The
That-
chances of anything coming from Mars.
We're 1,000,000 to 1.
A million to one. He
Well,
said.
That's it.
Let's
you.
let's go on that note into the final
And
bit
still
of real
They
space here,
came.
because
Right, Mata, do your thing. I didn't realize that the Florida parent with the golden disc would get that much conversation.
you're good. You're good. Well, I have one thing last to talk about. One last thing to talk about. Words are hard. Oh my god. One last thing to talk about here in real space because,
And we'll find out in the next episode.
well,
No.
we're gonna.
Choo-choo.
And on a cliffhanger. Make them come back for more.
Dun, dun, dun.
This is the moment where we just work
No.
really hard to demail Mata.
We'll talk about it.
Well
Get our
done.
deal, Digi, as well.
We'll talk about it in the next episode, sure. But we're gonna find out Monday who the next crew to go to the moon is. The crew of Artemis 2 is
Hey.
being announced this coming Monday in Houston, Texas. And I'm media.
Oh,
Awesome.
Oh,
I
didn't
wouldn't
know
have
that
guessed
was-
that, actually.
Yep.
holy shit.
I just realized my
Wow.
camera's backwards.
Yeah, that's
Hang on.
yeah. Your
hang on.
camera's backwards.
Hang on, I'm fixing it. Which one's me?
Adium? Who's Adium?
It's Adium.
Adium.
Where's the oh god. Can I not flip it? Oh wait, because it's locked. Hold on. I'm fixing it. Rotate
I'm
180.
fixing it.
Nope, that's
Ah.
wrong. That's wrong. I'm upside down now. Hi, Digi.
Hey.
You flipped it, but the wrong way.
I meant to flip horizontally, not rotate. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay. All right. Now we're back to.
You know what? You should flip every single camera and make this episode Australia Vision.
And for those listening at home, oh my god. For those listening at home, I'm holding up my parking pass for the Artemis 2 crew announcement.
Yep.
That's pretty
Definitely
hype,
talk about
dude.
that next time.
He's media.
And that's not even the
Record
most
what you
exciting
can.
thing.
Yeah.
Take pictures, whatever.
Oh, that's not even the
Take
most exciting
pictures,
thing I'm
get
going to be
info.
able to do on Monday.
Oh, do tell.
You're part of the crew. Go on, say you're part of the crew.
No, I wish, but well, actually, no. I'm good here on the ground. But
Yeah, me
no,
too.
I'm good on the ground. But I was scheduled for a very brief 7-minute interview with the pilot of the crew.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yes. So
my God.
we'll have some stuff for the audio version of the next podcast.
Awesome.
That's exciting. That's exciting. Oh, it's going to be great.
Ask good
Yeah.
questions.
Yes.
Good luck, Mata.
I'm going to be in there with two other outlets, but one of them, the person who is there for that outlet, I know, and we're friends, so we're going to collaborate on what we're going to ask because, yeah, we've only got so much time. So
Well, if you
Don't
want-
forget to
forward
take
to
your
hearing
whistle if he's not moving along.
if he's
quick enough.
taking too long, don't want to lose your whole 7 minutes.
Just start blowing on this train whistle. Beep beep. Hurry up.
I just had the strangest interview with this media guy. He kept blowing on a train whistle.
I don't want to get kicked out of Johnson Space Center. Thank you very
No,
much.
Don't.
Like, I mean, it was utterly hilarious, though. I think I should take that up in the pod.
Mm.
But I will record it. So, oh my
Choo
God.
choo.
Beep beep.
I'll record
did
the
it.
interview, so I'll have some stuff for you to throw in, Aki.
Thanks, mate.
Awesome.
Sorry.
But
That's awesome.
I'm gonna so edit in some train whistles.
excellent. But on that note, that is the last thing I had to talk about for Real Space. So I think we're good to move this along. If y'all are all
Yeah.
happy with that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but seriously,
Definitely.
well done. Congratulations.
Thank you, my
that's
friend.
great.
Going there to cover it for Space Scout. So
You
follow.
are getting the recognition you deserve, sir.
I
And
appreciate
now you're
that.
covering it for us too.
Yes. So if you want to see all the coverage, you can follow at my photo Twitter at DavidJD Photos or the Space Scout Twitter at We Are Space Scout. Shameless plug. But on that note, I think it's time for That's Science, Digi.
No, I'm going to stop you there. Actually. Hang
Oh,
on.
you
No,
are?
it's just important.
okay.
Yeah. Because when
Yeah,
is the
he
interview?
needs to stop you so that he can say this podcast has been brought to you by Raid Shadow. Oh wait, no.
Beep beep.
Rain shadow toot toot.
So wait, are we still in real space? What?
No, I just
Yes, I
figured
just-
if you were gonna promote your thing, we should.
Definitely. Yeah, 100%.
I need to know when I need to get this edit out.
Well,
'Cause
if you want to
it's-
wait a few days, I can give you some stuff from the interview after Monday.
Oh no, just if you needed this announced before the interview, if I needed to get this episode out before the interview.
Oh
so
no, it's
people-
fine. I just wanted to
Okay,
talk
Yeah,
about
no,
it.
that's probably a point for after the show.
Mm.
But it's apologies. It
No,
was,
you're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
Have you think? Yes.
So we good to move
Carry
on
on.
to That Science,
Beep,
Digi?
beep. Yeah, carry on.
Yep. Let's do it,
Take it away, mate.
guys. I've got.
Oh,
some
wait.
really-
There it is. Actually, this is my
Guys.
first. That's not science, did you as well?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
but it's April 1st, so it's that science, Digi.
That's
Oh, that is
science.
science,
Yeah.
did you?
Yep. So, I've got some real, true, and proper science for you all tonight. I want you guys to give me some very serious thought about all of these. So, the first item on my list tonight, my uncle says that I'm a pathological liar, but I don't even have an uncle. So, what did he mean by that?
Oh, that's a paradox.
My brain hurts.
Isn't it again?
Paradox.
It's an Uncle Docs.
It's an uncle. It's an uncle dog.
Yeah, it's not a parent docs; it's an uncle docs. Yeah.
You got to get it right.
Yeah. My Roomba will occasionally undock and redock itself. Is this the robot equivalent of adjusting its balls for comfort?
Ah! Like that awkward step a bloke has to take once in a while.
The sideward step.
Yeah, the sideward step. It's nothing to say that robots can't do it. They don't have to do it. I just.
It's funny you should do that, mate. Right. When my ear is ringing, how do I answer it?
I have nothing clever for that.
Okay.
I don't even know.
Just stand there shouting, "Come in, come in!"
All right. Okay. Then I've got something that you guys probably can contribute pretty well to. If my milkshake brings the boys to the backyard,
God.
what kind of beverage will bring girls? No.
Something
Nothing?
foundation.
Something.
Foundation or mascara.
I don't know. It's a drink. I need a drink. What kind of drink?
I don't know, Long Island
Um,
iced teas, mojitos.
a nice iced tea, a mojito,
one of those
nice.
coffee ones that seem to be popular these days.
Oh, the espresso martini.
That's the one.
Yeah. Yeah, don't do espresso martinis. They're a bad idea. Saying this from experience.
Why is that
not
even
just
a thing?
expensive?
Espresso.
An espresso martini. Because chemically speaking, it's an upper and a downer at the same time. It's quite unusual. Yeah. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Not a
Don't
good
worry,
idea.
I've
Hey.
never had alcohol, so I don't plan to.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Don't mind a tipple. Guys, this is a really, really important one that is relative to all of the things that we talk about, and it's a genuine question. Do aircraft have odometers? If not, how do pilots figure out how many kilometers are left before their next oil change?
I can actually answer this
I
question.
knew you were going to be able to.
I saved this one specifically for you, Aki.
Have you?
I have a nice long list of subjects, and this one I saved for a week you were on.
I don't want to go on a big thing of not rant.
Does it have an
can't-
odometer?
No,
No?
though it has an equivalent.
What's the equivalent called?
Flying hours or airframe hours.
Oh, okay.
So they count the amount of hours that there's a few sets of. I don't know. I'm going to completely geek out here now. There's
Please
a few
do.
sets of
Please do.
hours. So the engines have their hours monitored, and
Yeah.
the airframe also has its hours monitored. So, but yes, it's done on airframe hours. So the amount of hours it's flying for, or in case of the engines, on how long the engines are operating for.
Yeah. And on the basis of the engines, because that's actually, it's all jokes aside, it's actually interesting.
It's educational. I don't know how to make it funny. Not that I'm a funny person, but
All right, fine. All
Just
right.
give us your British charm, friend.
All right,
it's
Aki,
the
fine.
airframe hours. Don't you know?
Give us your
This
best
is-
David
this-
Attenborough of this.
And here we have.
And here we
have Airframe
the
hours.
airplane. It is a piece of shit. It goes up and it comes down again. And then somehow, at
Carefully
some point,
controlled.
we change the oil. Fine, Aki. All right, I have one that's. All right, no, I'll do this one instead before I bring it to the last one because I have one last for you, Aki. I think I've mentioned this joke before. So the next one is, why is the global economy affected by how much air I put in my tires? Because all they're talking about is inflation.
Oh. Fun fact: aircraft use nitrogen.
Rather than air.
Yes.
That's interesting.
It's
I mean, it
inert,
makes sense.
and
yeah,
it's dry.
yeah.
Like my
Inert and dry.
personality.
It's just like my sense of humor. It's dry.
It's inert and dry.
All right. Last one for you, Aki, specifically. I recently learned that I have cancer. Is that better than or worse than having Scorpio?
Well, cancer's a crab, isn't it?
Yes.
So what's better, scorpions or crabs? It's pretty dismal either way, isn't it?
Either way, it's going to pinch.
It's gonna hurt.
You're in a pinch.
Gonna be some mild discomfort.
Oh, dear. Guys, that's the second last. Last. Oh, look, I can add one more if you want. Does anyone want
Go
one
on.
more? All right. Why isn't global warming affecting Pluto? Because it's cold. It's real cold.
I'm just
I
thinking
was-
about this far too hard.
It's like, why is this not funny, and why can't I make it funny? So it's all of my jokes in one hit.
Well, actually, because all the other planets are actually hot, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Neptune and
Hello, Red.
and
There he is.
all those are really really hot. Wait, no.
Well, look,
But they
you
are
know,
in this. They are deep down, though, aren't they? Deep
No,
down, they're
no,
all
I-
nice and
We
good.
have no idea what the
well, no, we don't. We don't. But deep
Well,
down on the
Jupiter's-
inside, in their
we
soul,
know.
they're warm and loving.
Yes. They're
No,
kinda
see,
hard.
Pluto's just a little bit goofy. That's all.
Way.
All right, made it with the high note. That brings us to an end. To That's Not Science, Digi, guys. If you have other science questions that you would like to raise, please direct them at me at bspacetape or at digipsychosis on, well, just about everything, really. You can find me, digipsychosis or digital psychosis. Look me up. I'm around. And give me your suggestions there for any sciencey questions you may have.
Oh, that's good though, Feroz. It doesn't bother Pluto because he's a dog. So, gentlemen, I think that's a good enough spot. Wouldn't you agree? Oh my
Can't get any
word,
worse
that's
from here.
that's
All right, fine. One more. Why don't humans sniff each other's butts like animals?
Oh no. Do I?
save
Well-
me.
Why don't all humans?
How about
Why
this?
don't red
Here's your answer.
pandas-
I've started the outro music.
Ah!
Yay, outro music.
We'll get back to that
How is it possible to survive on a diet of staples?
because it's too
That's all
easy.
I
We
do.
know there's an easy button. Stop it. On that note, though, I'm going to cut him off before he keeps going because I think that's the time to say thank you all for tuning in to Boosters. To the Boosters and
Space Tape Reloaded.
to the Boosters and Space Tape
Oh,
podcast, relaunched podcast. We'll be bacon. I wrote bacon.
We'll be bacon. We'll be bacon.
We'll be bacon April 15th. No, we'll be back on April 15th. 2023. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God.
We'll be bacon.
We'll be bacon. Insert your bacon frying sound here.
Only one thing smells like bacon, and that's bacon.
We'd like to thank Popsky for our commissioned intro and outro music. You can find all of his music on his Bandcamp at popsky.bandcamp.com. That's POPSKYY. You can follow us on Twitter, TikTok if Digi ever gets around to it, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook at Boosters and Space Tape. You can shoot any questions to Boosters and Space Tape at gmail.com. To keep up with our live recordings, you can follow here on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Matoro. That's Matoro. You can subscribe to the Boosters and Space Tape podcast on various platforms, including iTunes, Libsyn, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And finally,
And Audible now.
And Audible. I was going to ask. You
Oh,
added
sorry.
one. No,
Yes,
it's
I
fine.
did,
It's
yes.
fine. We'll need to add that. I'll add that. But for now, y'all, I have been Matoro, and with me have been my wonderful friends, Digital Psychosis,
Oh, boy.
Akinesis Gaming,
I snorted so hard my nose hurts.
and the one and only, the Red Panda.
I have no idea why I'm still here.
Because you love it. You love us. And we love you.
You're
This
our
is the
glue,
We
Panda.
keep dragging you along
You're
to
ugly.
these recordings.
At this point, we're dragging Red along by his leg, aren't we? We're just laying Starship on the floor. And we're just dragging him through.
Claw marks into the
exactly.
carpet. No, don't take
No.
me.
I've had enough. Kill me. Kill me.
Just let me go.
Everybody, thank you again for watching and listening. We'll catch you soon for more Kerbal, Real Space, and other cool and sciencey stuff. Have a good one, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.